rated team ever, the Cutters. Going to be Cutters. Cutters are back on top.
Any question I ask, try to repeat the question and the answer.
How did Cutters get started?
So the movie Breaking Away, a group of local Bloomington kids were allowed to join the Little 500 race, and they called themselves the Cutters after the stone cutting industry in southern Indiana. The Cutters' first year was 1984, and we've won 14 races. We have the most wins of any other Little 5 team.
They decided to use that name that was in the movie Breaking Away. They thought, you know what, this will get some attention.
Little 500 takes place in Bloomington, Indiana. It is a student bike race at the Indiana University. It's made up of 33 teams. The field is a mix of fraternity teams and independent teams. It's on a quarter-mile cinder track, 200 laps. Winner take all at the end. And the Cutters, some years have up to 9 riders, and we select the 4 best riders to race.
What's up, Jim? Yeah, we're around the house.
Yeah. What are the races on the circuit, Dad?
I'll do the B.
200k over flat terrain, but the pace dropping off significantly after yesterday's.
That's a terrible place. Look at that. That's just
only room for like 8 wide.
You're laughing like we're so far behind right now.
yeah.
I had no plans to join any cycling team at IU. I joined the team because I wanted something to do, something very competitive, something very athletic. And it's a sport that rewards really intense dedication. It's not something that you can just learn the form of and be good at forever. It's something that you have to actively maintain and like grow.
I tried to ride with a couple teams and we just weren't vibing, you know? I felt like an outsider of the bike community. Like, I'm not this typical athlete. Like, I didn't fit in. And I do feel like I fit in on Cutters because, like, they're just a bunch of misfits, you know?
So I'll start with myself. So my name is obviously Patrick Coulter, and they call me Cecil.
We were trying to figure out what we wanted to nickname him.
There was this gnarly dentist and he killed this lion named Cecil.
My dad is a dentist as well, who does a lot of extreme hunting.
Honestly, like for the first couple months on the team, I didn't know his name was Patrick. I thought it was Cecil.
My name is Noble Guyon. My nickname on the team is Boos.
Noble's probably the most experienced on the team right now.
He's the one who finishes the race. He's the last car in the train.
And then we have Gragg.
My nicknames are Frosty and Cornflake.
Yeah, you know, like Greg, he's kind of like flaking out on this ride tomorrow. Like we could call him Cornflake.
Frosty is what stuck.
We got Victor.
My nickname is Panama Jack.
We always love to give him shit for like being Panama Jack and being late and being greasy.
He's just like a greasy animal.
Ultimately, underneath the social aspect of the team, there are people who genuinely want to win and are willing to give a lot for it.
As a coach, one of my jobs is always thinking about how do I keep the team going. And so making sure those relationships are tight with the guys is something I try to encourage. You know, you may go to movies, you may do meals together, go on road trips, like that kind of stuff, but nothing is better than suffering. Through that suffering, you create bonds, relationship bonds. And you don't have to say anything, you just know you went through that with somebody else. That's the best way to create the relationships, is to suffer together. So we have to really develop that base, and that's the relationships, that's the people, that's your friends. So when we fall in hard times, we can continue.
About a week before the race, my dad passed away. from like months of dealing with a very hard to treat leukemia, and it was rough.
Like no matter what you want to do, even though it's not your own parent, you're still feeling that emotion and that weight.
My team was there to support me. Even before he died, like my dad told me he wanted like me to win the race. Truthfully, on race day, I had a job to do, and I was ready to do it.
And the anticipation is building here for the 69th edition of this men's Little 500. As they come around turn 4, and the green flag. Here it is. Let's go racing at the 69th men's Little 500. It's Gragg Hubrechts there on the bike for Cutters.
Yeah, Gragg is a strong rider, 7th place ITTs. He knows what's going on. He's a veteran.
What I do well in the race is just be an advantage. If we need to sprint, I can sprint. If we need to chase something, I can chase. If we need someone to sit out there for a ton of time, I can do that.
Looks like Cutters might be going to exchange 2 right now. Cutters are definitely a target in this race. Whenever they exchange, other teams want to take them out of the race.
Every year in Little 5, there's ups and downs, or we call it the pendulum swings.
We are seeing NEH Cycling at the front of the pack right now.
It takes effort to keep the pendulum from swinging back.
The track starts to deteriorate, the cinders start to get more loose, and that's when you come through, your back wheel fishtails, you're not as steady, that's when teams start to crash.
198 laps scored, a 7.9 second difference. This Fi-side pit can start to feel it.
This is a big gap. This might be the bike race.
When you're in a moment, it's where you know something significant has happened. You've been envisioning something for so long, and then you're in it. Like you're just experiencing it.
It looks like Fi-side is going to exchange.
Boy, this is quite a development here. They have a huge gap.
It's really beautiful.
It is Andrew Laval onto the bike, and here is the bike race, and everybody is catching up.
1 lap to go for team number 13, the Cutters.
Fi-side still chest out front now as Xavier Martinez takes the...
I don't know, it's like just solid, and I was just like, man, I want to fucking do this.
Cutters coming around the outside, trying to get around Xavier Martinez.
In light blue, black people starting their on the outside, it's Fi-side.
A sprint to the finish for the 69th Little 500. Cutters and Black Key Bulls, and it's a two-peat, a repeat for Cutters. They've done it again.
How does it feel to pull it out at the end?
It means a lot. My father just passed away, and I told him I'd win this race for him. So it feels good.
It's absolutely incredible. The rest of you guys.
The day after the race this year, there was a celebration of life for my dad. My uncle told me afterwards that like he cried 4 times. The people he like cried with were literally all my teammates. He knew how special like my support group in Cutters was. It's truly special.
All of the memories and relationships that are formed through this event, and that's really why it's worth doing it.
Even though your time on the team is done, you're always a Cutter. You always have your teammates. Even greater than winning was becoming a part of that Cutter family.